Hi everyone, welcome back. I am TheeMemoryAstrologer, and this is another weekly episode of the Interconnected-ness, a weekly oracle series. This weekly oracle series is for the week of December 20th, and that is to December 26th, 2021. So I hope that you all are having a wonderful week. This is the week of Christmas if you all celebrate the holiday. But I hope that you all are in a wonderful and a spectacular mood. And let's get into this beautiful message. This beautiful message. Remember to always take your deep breaths, your deep belly rests, to calm and collect you for this message, for this beautiful weekly oracle interconnectedness. This week, I feel like we are getting a solid footing, and a solid footing doesn't just have to be in like grounds of physical manifestation. So maybe we wanted to know some news, and this is the news. Maybe we are paying our bills up, and now we overpaid. So now this week, our bills are hidden. And we're like, you know what? I don't need to pay no bills because the whole time I paid them last week. I paid them a couple months ago. So I see all the good things that we have been putting out there, allowing us to now be at a place of understanding, working with the flow, and just moving through the situation. Even though they're challenging, you're open to the challenge. You're like, you know what? I'm going to use this as an advantage to go to my highest version of myself. And I'm not going to see this as some hard situation that just keep coming. I went through that hard situation last year, and look at me, I'm in another hard situation a year later. So that's letting me know that I'm going through growth, and I'm able to physically see it. So let's get the message. The message. Thank you so much, Spirit. What is the message for this week? Okay, excellent. That's what I was talking about. The liberation. Like, we are just going to accept the fact of what it is, and we're going to move through it because we are understanding that some situations just have to come. Some situations just have to come to an end. But some situations we can see that we can manipulate it to our benefit. What does our benefit look like? What does that define? That is defining liberation for us. Liberation is seen as many multitudes for different people. Maybe liberation might be seen as graduating college, and now you have been released from these professors, and now you're out there in the real world. Or liberation might seem as if you are starting a new job, and now this is a new area of yourself, a new facet. So this is an area of opportunity for growth. Maybe this was an area that you were used to, but it's a better pay raise. You are challenged in a way, and you see that it's for the best involved. Liberation says, the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. That's what I'm talking about. The understanding of grounding. The understanding that these situations, they pop up, but I now have the control over my emotions, over myself, over how I react. And I minimize and maximize someplace else. I minimize my energy here because I already know what's going on. I already see it. I've already strategized. I already planned it out. And I maximize by putting in the work where you like to do it. So that may seem as in, once again, the leaving a job and going to a new job, Or liberation is speaking your truth. Speaking your truth. The next cards that fell out, the first card was liberation. The second card was self-love, and that is reversed. Excellent. The third card was karma. So that's why I was saying, oh, yeah, we've been really putting in some good work, huh? And I see a solid footing. But a solid footing also could mean that we have been we were minimizing someplace else to maximize someplace else. And that might have depleted us. And this is our wake-up call saying, hey, let's listen to our body. Are we listening to our spirit? We have put in the hard work, but are we showing ourselves gratitude? You have done the work. Yes, spirit has helped you. Yes, the benevolent ancestors, benevolent gods, benevolent forces have helped you. But you have helped yourself. And are you congratulating yourself? Are you honoring yourself? Are you investing that same energy into yourself? You have came a long road. You have paved a long road. And it's time now to give some of that essence, some of that kindness and compassion and softness to self. But let's keep on going. Don't want to just stop right there. So we already talked about the three cards. So liberation, self-love, reverse, karma. The fourth card was right action, and that was reversed. And the fifth card was letting go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Because we're minimizing here to maximize someplace else. That's the glorious thing of growing, of organizing situations, of understanding to maturing, to using things, these tools are the things that I'm talking about, to your benefit for when situations come up. So we have been really putting in the work. And now let's put some of that love, that work back into ourselves. That essence back into ourselves. That essence back into ourselves. Self-love says, let the wall fall that separates me from my own vulnerability. My own vulnerable child. I long to take care of myself like never before. So here, maybe our inner child has been doing a lot of, I want to say peeking out. And are we tapping into some of those things that we like to do? So there might be coloring. There might be reading a book. There might be exercising. There might be taking naps. There might be spending time with your children. Maybe there has been so much going on in your life and in the world that you weren't able to spend time with your children this week. Or the playfulness that excites your inner creative expression. And right now, this is a time, this is a period for us to rethink ways to dive into understanding our creative expression, but also tapping into our inner divinity. Our inner divinity, those inner talents, those inner hobbies, allows us to be more in flow with the creator, with receiving. And right now, I want us to be more open, a little bit more open on receiving, a little bit more open on being vulnerable. This is a time period where we need to be really reflecting on our heart space, on our heart chakra, and how we've been treating ourselves. In what ways have you been wanting to express your individuality, and why haven't you? Does it look like trying out a new, I see sewing, trying out new talents, maybe swimming. You wanted to pick up swimming and gardening. I see that all of these things can be fruitful, and we first must be open to understand why do we not want to tap into that space? Why do we not want to explore these wishes or these goals or these aspirations that we're thinking of? Have you not put in the hard work to understand yourself? And now, since you are understanding these urges and these feelings, when these feelings arise and these new expressions arise, we need to be very mindful of how we are accepting them. I want us to be more open and accepting our own individuality. And when others come in to express their own, allow space for them as well. But don't forget to hold space for yourself. Okay, so we talked about minimizing to maximizing long term. Let's really get into long term. So long term, I see that we have been really putting in the work, gathering, propagating, setting those wishes and those groundwork like deep in our mind, deep in our thoughts. And now's the time for us to be writing them out. Now's the time for us to be planning them, to strengthen them, and to make them physical here, to make it manifested here on earth. So now what is the game plan? What are the goals to achieve this? What are the goals to achieve this newfound expression of yourself? How are you going to put in the work to tap into this heart space and to continue tapping into this heart space? This is an everlasting and ever following path. Once you put the work in, it is a continuing endeavor. You see, it takes 1 second to get to the next second, to get to the next second, to get to the next second. But it's all to grow the inner divinity, the inner light of all, but the inner light of yourself. Being interconnectedness is allowing us to know that we cannot do things by ourselves. This whole series is to allow us to know that we are connected to one another, and that without each other, without community, without the Creator, without our own understandings of ourselves and our soul level, on a astrological standpoint, from a divination standpoint, from a whatever standpoint, we are all interconnectedness, and this is just allowing us to grow our understanding to self, which means allowing to grow our understanding to other people. So let's get into the next card. The very next card, which is card number 4, is right action. And right action is reverse. So maybe this is the point where we are pushing. And right now we need to fall back. We need to fall back in love with ourselves. We need to fall back into compassion with ourselves and with our goals. Maybe we've been really wanting a situation to come to fruition that isn't in alignment with our highest goals. And right now, this is our wake-up call. This is ding dong, baby. I need you to pay attention. And the paying attention is our body speaking to us. The paying attention is our tapping into our individuality. Our individuality is a mission, a personal mission that we each must go through. Our path is individualized. No one has same path as us. They may have similarly for me. We might have friends that go all the way, but then at the last way, turn left. That's okay, because everyone has their own individualized path. And right now, this is just our moment of clarification, our moment of saying, let's take a step back, to detach, to understand, to minimize, to maximize. Minimizing to maximizing takes a lot of mental, spiritual, and physical strength to know what needs to happen at certain times, at certain days, and to keep that memory, that understanding flowing. So much happens throughout our day. And right now, this is the time for us to take a step back and reorganize ourselves. to rediscover ourselves, to re-allow ourselves to connect to who we are. What do we have that makes us unique, that makes us creative, that allows us to tap into our childlike creative expression? What does that look like for us? That might look like speaking and writing. That might look like humming. That might look like grounding ourselves. So being near water, maybe taking a shower, maybe when we're dreaming. The right action says, Apagareya literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. So maybe here we have not been in tune to our body's messages. And that is a-okay. But right now we need to be really tapping into the messages that's going on within our body, but now also within our environments. There are literal birds around this lady. You see, we can see the lightest version of the blue. So she is in her highest form of spirituality. So here, I want us to be really paying attention to the messages that are going on within our environment. When you see feathers, I want you to say, I accept, I am listening, I am open to this message that is being presented to me right now. Say it, believe in it, tap into it. It's going to be, it's assisting you to tap more into yourself, more into the creative expression, and more into the divinity. There are messages being presented to us, and we have to be open to it. We have to be accepting of it, and we have to let go old traditions, old perspectives, old thoughts, old that doesn't no longer serves us and allows us to grow into the highest version of ourselves. The highest. So that means letting things that want to go, go. Things that are ending and we're like, no, let them go. Be accepting because it's allowing a new opportunity to present itself to you. Allow you to tap more into who you are. Who you are. And right now we need to be very mindful of rushing into situations, rushing into relationships, rushing into things that don't really serve us to our highest good. If a situation leaves you ungrounded, makes you feel as if that you are just makes you feel ungrounded, that's a situation that we need to listen to. Really listen to it. Listen to what is being presented to you in your body, in your dreams. When people are speaking to you, I want you to really listen to what they're saying. Really take people for their ear and what's really going on, okay? Letting go. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. The essence of being grounded mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically is a mental, physical, spiritual, all essence strength. And that takes a lot of mastery. And right now we are putting all the work in to grow it. And to grow, we must understand that we cannot do this alone. That there are situations that we outgrow, people we outgrow, parts of ourselves that we outgrow, and that is okay. Being open to letting go allows us to safely give things up that no longer serves us. So listening to really what's being said. I'm proud of you. Let's see the back of these cards. Ooh, flow. Yes. When we are not listening to our body, when we are not listening to ourselves, into our inner intuition, our inner divinity, we are not in flow with the Creator, with our messages, with the messages that are being presented to us right now. And it's okay to be hesitant, because we're overstepping. You know, we've been in such an ungrounded situation, and we're just like, is this a solid step? It is a solid step. And right now we need to trust ourselves. We need to trust our intuition. And we need to trust the messages that are being presented to us. You are worthy. You are growing yourself, and you are growing your individuality. You're growing your own individuality. What's underneath this slow card? Period. That's what I'm saying. We need to be very much open to the guidance, to the wisdom that's going on in our dreams. In our dreams. I want you all to be writing in your journal the dreams that you've had. And if you're not been able to dream or to sleep, I want you to, first things first, start stretching before you go to bed and start doing some deep breathings, some deep belly breaths. When we are in a constant state of running, a constant state of like just the knowing of so much is going on, we are not really aware of ourselves, and we're not really present. And what we need to do right now is to be present in the moment. This is a time for us to be paying attention to ourselves, to our messages, to our spirit, and to our body. Flow says, allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. Remember the tools that we have been growing and we have been adding to our toolbox of life? Remember to use them. They are your tools to assist you. You have grown and you have attained these. Why don't you trust yourself? Why don't you trust the messages that are being presented to you as you are dreaming, as you are in a deep state of thought, as you are reading? I'm seeing a lot of solar plexus chakra. I'm seeing a lot of throat chakra. I'm also seeing a lot of heart and earth chakra. So I'm seeing we need to really be tapping into grounding ourselves. Grounding looks like a lot to different people. Let's find out what grounding looks like to you, okay? And don't forget to be aware of your dreams. Take out your dream journal. Get out a new notebook and write it as your dream journal. Only write dreams as your dream journal. You don't write dreams every day, that's fine, but make sure you take your dream journal down. You write the date and the time and the dream that you had. Now, over time, it might start small, but then it start getting longer and you will start remembering more. I want you to then read your dream journal as often as possible. As I give it about 3 months, every 3 months, read it, because the messages are relaying to you. And this is your moment of clarity. This is your moment of trusting yourself. So when you receive messages out in your environment, you already have this point of clarification with your dreams. Start being attuned to this. All right, you all. Have a wonderful week. And remember to trust yourself, to ground yourself, to minimize, to maximize. You got this.